Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Nick and Mike, welcoming everyone to yet another Friday. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing well, considering I've had no sleep. But I actually get more hyper on those days. But
Yeah,
chai is good. Chai is good for that. So here we go.
yeah. Pressure is good. Well, good morning, everybody. As Nick said, my name is Mike Purdy. I'm the CEO of Vitruveo, and Nick is the co-founder and CEO of Vitruveo. And if you're joining us for the first time, Vitruveo is a layer one blockchain that focuses on arts and entertainment, but specifically creating sustainable income for artists and creators. And we're also really diving into the gaming vertical for Vitruveo, which is super exciting. So we have an update on that. There's going to be plenty to go over today. I know we've had a very, very busy week, and we're very excited to give you guys some updates. As you know, every Friday at 10 a.m., we do these AMAs where we update the community on different progress on different verticals that we're doing. We're about a year into development of this incredible project, and we are just finished launching our wrapped token, which will hopefully be on a SEX in the next, say, 60, 90 days. We have a lot of incredible product lines that we've really incorporated into the actual blockchain, specifically with search. And so we're going to be going over that today. But we do have a lot of updates for you, and I think we should just dive right in. Hello, everybody. It's great to see some of the usual suspects. We've got Mystique NFT. We have Pam here. Rohan, good morning. We've got, who else do we have here? Crypto Knight, good morning. Gus, great to see you. It's great to see everybody. We have an amazing community, and it's growing every single day, which is super exciting. So let's dive right into it. I know we've got a lot to go over. Today is season 4, episode 9. So let's go with the first update, which is on Vortex.
Yeah. So Mike, I'm going to let you take that away. I'm going to actually drop off the screen here, so you
Okay.
can fly solo here.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So, all right. So we're not going to reveal, we're going to try to reveal a little bit, but we're not going to go too deep into it because we want to leave some surprises for the pre-sale. But Vortex Land is going to be the game, and the war has begun. So let's go to the next slide. So let's go a little overview of what Vortex is, or at least the history or storyline. So Vortex origins. In the heart of a forgotten world lies a mystical realm known as Vortex Land. Here, the fabric of reality is woven into ancient terrains and powerful glyphs, each holding the remnants of a lost civilization. As the last guardians of this land, you and your fellow players are tasked with reclaiming this lost world and restoring balance to the ecosystem. The quest. So long ago, the realms were shattered by a dark entity known as the Vortex, a creature born from chaos of a broken world. Its hunger, power, draws into its place of strength, leeching energy from the very glyphs that you seek to restore. To reclaim the Vortex land, you must harness the terrains and the glyphs and then that lie dormant, infusing them with the right energies to stabilize the land. So what is Vortex? Vortex is a strategy board game featuring stunning artwork and UI. You earn Vitru tokens by actively playing. So it is a play to earn game. Players to earn rewards for growth and dominance through expanding your position. You can form alliances to strengthen your positions, and there will be leaderboards and asset airdrops leading into the land claim, which is going to be coming up soon. And the great thing is that you actually have playtime rewards, which we'll be announcing very, very soon. So the Vortex land, we're still working on the actual UI and all of the elements that are going to be going into it. But simply put, you choose your land, you build your territory, you protect your resources from other players, and you earn Vitru. That's the bottom line. But it is going to be a very modern take on a play to earn game. If you've ever played Settlers of Catan, It's going to have similar elements to that, and I've had a chance to really dive into Catan and really understand the strategy behind it. It's a super fun game, and this is going to be kind of a futuristic spin-off of that. So you purchase, earn, and battle for cards that you get to use in the game. These are just samples of different cards that we're experimenting with. You do have an associated number that appears on the card as well as the glyph. And these have a very important aspect to the game in terms of earning, different rewards. Cards you can attack, you can defend, and you get bonus points. There's no limit to the cards, which is a little bit different than Catan. It's going to be very easy to learn, but it's going to be very difficult to master. There will be a lot of people playing, so it's going to be very exciting diving into that. We will start off obviously with a desktop version and eventually roll out a mobile gaming version as well. It will have a marketplace, so there will be native integration with Neon Circus, and you will be able to trade Vortex vouchers on Neon Circus as well as trade Vortex land cards. So what's kind of the flow? Well, basically players will purchase Vortex NFTs for gameplay, and a percentage of those purchases go to Vitruveo Treasury for Vitru liquidity, and then also the Neon Circus Treasury. The majority is sent to the Vortex land game pool, where the money is distributed among the players. And the money transferred into Vortex land is defined as a gain in Vortex world, is distributed with various percentage in the prize pool. There's cash drops, there's and a lot of this will fund the rest of the development of the game. So it's kind of just a brief overview of the tokenomics, but we're really going to be diving into the tokenomics as the game develops. So what is the roadmap? Well, phase one, we're currently in phase one, which is the concept stage. We're continuing to develop the storyline, so it kind of makes sense, and it actually has a cool element to it. We dabbled around a little bit with AI, the AI concept, but there's a lot of games out there that are experimenting with that, and we're trying to come up with something original. We are in development of the white paper, so that will be released very soon. We are in brand development stage right now. You notice that I really didn't put the logo. We have maybe about 20 concepts right now that we're playing around with, but that's going to be released obviously on phase two when we go to land claim launch and the pre-sale. We are designing a marketing strategy as well right now, which is going really well. And we're going to be wrapping up the tokenomics and how everybody can profit from it and have fun with it. That's really going to be the important part. In phase two, this is going to be the land claim pre-sale. So we're going to reveal the branding. We're going to do a really special download that week. We're going to have the white paper done. The landing page is going to be done. The tokenomics are going to be released and revealed. We will have play to earn concepts. The marketing will be launched. And we will also be launching on the landing page leaderboards and airdrops. We will be launching the pre-sale, and then we're also going to have some really cool stuff for the creators that are a part of our community. We're going to have some creator challenges that are tied to Vortex as well. And the targeted goal for that is September 15th. There's a lot to do leading up to that, but that is going to be our targeted goal. And we're really excited about getting that done. And phase three is the fun part. That's where we're going to do a beta launch. It's going to go into testing. We'll have to obviously test it and make sure things are running smoothly. We'll also have to verify that our tokenomics make sense and work within the game. So we're going to have to play with it a little bit. And we have a target goal of November 15th to have a workable beta version. But that may get pushed. It just really depends on development time. The features and assets, how many we're going to launch in the beginning. We might have a simplified version of it in the beginning, just so that we can get it to launch and get it to market. And then we can, obviously develop more stages and more enhancements as we progress. So land claim begins September 15th. That's going to be our goal. So that's it. Nick, what do you think?
This is amazing. I'm very, very excited. This is
Mhm.
great. And yeah, I mean, what's exciting to me is that there is a vision for the game, and we are not kind of like, I appreciate the philosophy we're operating with is like building on the fly, but first having a coherent vision for it, and then having all the marketing assets and branding, etc., is good. We'll just pick up where we left off, and really then just move at warp speed, as fast as possible on this. I'm really, really excited
Yeah,
because
we in talking with Neon Circus, and a big shout out to Neon Circus. They've been working behind the scenes and doing such a great job. We really appreciate their collaboration and the work that they've put into this. Obviously, we've had a really eventful week. We have so many things that we're launching this week, and Vortex is very, very important to our ecosystem. And we want to develop a game that's both cool and also fun to play. We don't want to produce something just to produce it. We really want to generate something that we actually enjoy playing. And if there's a way to profit from it and make money and have some fun that way as well, then that's just an added bonus. But we're really excited for the future of Vortex. We're glad that the community is excited as well. We've got so much great feedback on where we are to this point, and we have a lot of community members that are actually launching projects as well that we're really excited to talk with you. And it's just a really exciting time for our ecosystem. It's a long time coming. It's crazy to think that it's only been 12 months, Nick, and
yes,
to realize what we've accomplished in 12 months is nothing short of a miracle, because our ecosystem is not. It's a very, very comprehensive ecosystem. It's not just a token. It's not just a blockchain, but it's an entire ecosystem of Vitruveo's suite of products, as well as the gaming division. And we have so many more plans for other things that are coming down the pipeline.
yeah, indeed. And we can talk about some of those plans right now. So let's start off with the thing that everybody loves, I think, is Vibe. Give an update on where we are. So last Friday, we were set to launch the airdrop staking feature on the Saturday, I believe. Yeah, it was a Saturday, and it went on without a hitch, exactly as planned. And I'm very pleased to report it was very, very successful. Some of the stats here, first and foremost, instead of 10K Vibe, we threw in a bonus 10K. We threw in 20K there, so that was great. We had over 750,000 Vitru staked in a short span of 2.5 minutes. That was amazing to watch. I was just watching my screen. I'm like, what is going on here? And yeah, so we are now at a total of around 5.6 million staked as a result. So appreciate everyone who was there. And I'm sorry if you couldn't get in on there, but that's what the equity pools are for. They're coming up. But sometimes though, when you work on this stuff for like days, like it literally, this was a feature that was a bit complicated. It involved migrating from a prior contract to a new contract and all that. And I spent over a week on it, and then 2.5 minutes later, now my work is all useless. It's done. It's finished. So that sometimes. It is gratifying, but it also is a little weird. But anyway, just very, very happy that worked out well. So the next up, what's coming up is the equity pools. So we've got those contracts done. The testing is in progress. And I'm very pleased to report that the equity pools will be deployed next week. And it'll be earlier in the week rather than later. And we're going to have a general equity pool, a creator equity pool. We'll also have the validator equity pool, a DEX equity pool, and I'm pleased to announce here a new equity pool we're calling the buyer equity pool. We're going to give you more details on that later in the week, starting with Thursday. By the way, Thursday, we have been doing live streams for creators only, and that's where we'll shed some more light on the buyer equity pool that's coming up. Now let's talk about VUSD. So VUSD is the stable coin for Vitruveo, the native stable coin. Let's talk about the rollout, etc. So the VUSD contract has been deployed. If you checked Scope today, you probably saw that the address has been added. Actually, let me just go to that. So let's go here to scope. You can see that it's been added here. So you can click on that and go find the contract. So we now have the stablecoin contract deployed. And let's go to what is actually going to happen there. So first and foremost, we have written the algorithm so that the VUSD contract will always be collateralized to 125%. So 125%, that's to take into account swings in the price. We want to make sure that there's always collateral there. Now, you will get VUSD from three possible token sources. The first one is it will be granted to you. That's what's going to happen here shortly, which I'll talk about. You can also purchase it with Vitru, with USDC Pol, Ethereum, USDC native, credit card, etc. And the third way is you can have some transferred to you by someone else. They just send it to you. Now, your wallet is always going to show you your full balance regardless of the source. So it doesn't matter if it was granted, whether it was purchased, you're transferred. Your wallet is going to show you one number because this is a standard ERC20 compatible token. There's no difference from any other token, USDC, etc. So VUSD is just like that, and that's what you're gonna see. Now, what was the motivation for it? So I want to take a step back and address this because it's kind of important. So the original thought behind credits, or collector credits as we call them, was to essentially bootstrap our ecosystem, to make it possible for artists who are coming on board to have sales, and also to sort of cross, if you will, crypto investors and creators. We want to mix them up a little bit, and that's where collector credits were deployed. They were primarily given to booster investors, and it turns out that very small percentage were abusing them. And what we've done is we've shifted from collector credits, which are ERC 721 based tokens, which are essentially NFTs, to NFTs being non-fungible tokens, to VUSD, which is a fungible token. So within this scope of the VUSD token, we've addressed all the problems at its very core. And we've also added some performance benefits and some long-term, I think, value for the ecosystem. It is helpful to have a stablecoin in our ecosystem in addition to third-party coins like USDC. So for all the incidents where there was abuse, we have basically a zero tolerance policy around it. We deal with each incident. We claw back all the funds. We take any punitive actions that are necessary there. And we also impose restrictive actions there. So that is par for the course. And thankfully, the incidents have been few and far between. But we absolutely will not tolerate any bad actors here, and we'll make sure that we do what's best for the ecosystem. Now, let's see what happens when you are granted tokens. So what we've done here to protect the community, protect the ecosystem, protect the platform, is introduce some constraints. So as I mentioned, VUSD granted tokens will replace the collector credits, which are now going to be deprecated. So each VUSD token was going to have the following constraints. A granted token cannot be transferred to another wallet. So maybe your MetaMask or whatever balance says something, but when you try and transfer it, if you only have granted tokens, it's going to fail. You can keep trying the transaction, but it will fail 100% of the time. It cannot be transferred. They can only be used to buy artworks. Now, that means use it on the Vitru store, using the workflow that I think most people here are aware of. We may introduce other ways to use the granted tokens in the future, but currently they can only be used to buy artworks. Now, there is a limit with these tokens. You can spend a maximum of 1,000 VUSD per creator vault. So you cannot exceed that amount on a single vault. So regardless of how many coins, how many tokens you have in your wallet, the limit is 1,000 per vault. There's also another limit, and I did put the word "and" there because they work together. You have a maximum of 5 buys per creator vault. So let's say you go to a creator vault and you buy, and even though the total has not reached 1,000, if you hit 5 buys on that particular creator, you're done. You can no longer use granted VUSD tokens. You would have to use purchased or transferred tokens for that. So we don't want to limit anybody. We don't want to limit any creator setting prices, etc. We feel that is their prerogative. We are gonna through the process of creator levels give some direction on that and some guidance on that to buyers to protect our buyers. But as far as we're concerned, we feel like if someone wants to spend $10,000 on an artwork, they are more than welcome to just buy the VUSD on the market and then spend it. But the granted ones are supposed to kickstart our ecosystem. They are a specific purpose. They are not intended for your friends, your family, etc. They are intended for established artists who are already in the ecosystem. So I want to be very clear on this here. If you are a booster buyer and you are eligible for these, if you have a friend or family who wants to be an artist, etc., we welcome them. We absolutely welcome them. But you are not going to be able to buy their artwork with the granted VUSD tokens. You have to pay for those and buy it. And then you are welcome to spend as much money as you would like to spend on your friend or relative. But you are not going to take advantage of the community's bootstrap mechanism to do that. So we have an absolute zero tolerance policy on that. And any incidents we find, we will take those 3 steps, which is basically a clawback to funds and also punitive and restrictive measures. We also are imposing, as a result of some of these actions, a limit to the granted tokens. We don't want them to be there forever. So they will expire as of November 30th, 2024. After that, they are not usable. They'll sit in your wallet, but they are not usable. At that point, we'll give people an option on how to easily burn them, so they don't mess up the numbers on your wallet. But that's how it's going to be. Purchased VUSD tokens have no limitations. You can do whatever you want with them, just like any other token. You can move them around to any wallet. You can transfer them. You can use them to buy as many artworks as you like. We welcome that. We encourage that. And yes, you will be able to buy them with Vitru also. So you can use any Vitru you have to swap it out and buy a VUSD tokens also. So that's the plan there. Again, all we are trying to do here is make sure that the tokens are used for their intended purpose. As I explained a couple of downloads ago, most industries have a customer acquisition cost. Our customer acquisition cost is making artists aware of what Vitruveo is and bringing them on. And the incentive is that we help you get some initial sales. These tokens are intended for that, the granted tokens, and that's what they should be used for. Any use outside of that, the answer is a firm no. We will take action against that. All right, moving on. Let's look at the purchased tokens workflow. So we will add very shortly a page where you can go and buy with crypto or credit cards. And this should be very soon. I cannot come in on a date yet because it involves working with third-party gateways, etc., for the credit cards, and we can't control that time frame. But we'll probably roll it out in phases where we got the initial Vitru and USDC, etc., crypto purchases, and then we'll add on credit cards as we get approved on that. Now, I know a lot of folks are concerned about, okay, what happens to the funds when you buy with that? I'm very pleased to report that we have an excellent workflow for that. So when the VUSD tokens are purchased with any fully liquid crypto, that means whether it's Ethereum or USDC or USDC Pol, etc., 80% of it is immediately converted to USDC Pol. And then that is immediately fed to the DEX to provide wrap Vitru USDC Pol liquidity. So that is essentially the workflow. I think we have a spammer here in our audience, so let me just deal with that real quick. There we go. All right. So yep. So the funds will essentially on chain be converted and then flow into liquidity. So the more folks we have getting VUSD to buy artworks, which is their singular purpose right now. But as Vortex is available, etc., there'll be other use cases for it also. But right now, the main use case is buying artworks. But what it will do is increase the liquidity and allow essentially the circuit breaker to dial back its restrictions even more and allow more people to liquidate their Vitru if they so desire. All right. So that's that. Let's see. I think, Mike, if you don't mind starting some of the questions related, I think you'll just take them.
Yeah, I started working on that.
All right. So let's look at the schedule of what's going to happen here. So in the next 24 hours, 744 wallets are going to receive a total of $1.17 million in VUSD tokens. So that's the balance that's left over. We're going to do some additional airdrops also. We are finalizing the lists on these, so please give us a little extra time on that. That is, the list is for the blocked vault buyers. So some artists who were essentially bad actors were blocked earlier after people had used their credits to purchase. We want to make those users whole again. So you will get back your credits that you used. Also, all Vortex holders were committed to having 10 VUSD each. That will be included in the drop also. So if you have a Vortex token right now, you're going to find a VUSD once this airdrop is complete in your wallet. Now, the store sales are going to be paused during this time. In fact, they're already paused right now because we're already acting on it. So if you try and buy something right now, it's going to fail. We were going to put up a banner. Let me see if the team has deployed that already yet. Not yet, but you're going to see a site under maintenance banner here come up very soon. So people are aware that it is paused. We will resume after all the store contracts, etc., are upgraded, because the store contracts are currently using collector credits, and we want to deprecate those and use VUSD. So we expect that it's a maximum of 30 hours. It actually won't take that long, but we want to give ourselves basically until tomorrow sometime to get this done. So that's the lay of the land for VUSD, folks. I'm very excited about it because what we have is a problem, and out of that has come an opportunity. And we have an opportunity here with a stable coin, and we can do some interesting things. I won't comment on anything related to VUSD pairs, etc. Those it is decentralized. The community can do what it wishes on there. We are not going to, at this time, create a VUSD pair on the DEX. We want to stay focused on our single pair that's most important right now, and then which is the wrap VUSD and USDC poll pair. The second pair we would want to focus on is the VTRO pair, but that's coming up later. But so for right now, focus of VUSD is buying artworks. All right. Okay, moving on there. Let's talk about BlockScout. So most of you know this as the Explorer, but under the hood, it is the same open source software that is used by just about every chain out there, and they all modified in some form or other. Currently, our Explorer is running an older version of BlockScout, which means it is slower, yes, and it doesn't have all the features. But Team Brazil, under Nelio's leadership, is working on deploying BlockScout. The architecture of the new BlockScout is very modular. There are lots of different microservices, so it takes a little more work to get going. But I'm very pleased to report that in our dev environment right now, we have BlockScout working very well. We are currently indexing our testnet. This is completely unmodified. We have not applied any colors, any logos, anything. This is just raw. We're just trying to get functionality going on, but I wanted to give you an update to let you know that is coming. And the new BlockScout version is super fast, and it has a ton of features, including API. GraphQL is built in. We have a separate GraphQL, but with this version, GraphQL is built in. There's also lots of charts and graphs, etc. So all in all, a much richer experience and giving you lots of insights into the blockchain, which is actually pretty timely because our tokens transactions are surging, and we'll soon be at the point where we will have deployed our changes to the protocol, and then this will be very useful to monitor to see when the transactions go over the edge and cause a rebase to occur and things like that. So exciting days ahead. I'm super pumped about this, and thanks to the hard work of the Brazilian team making this happen. So much appreciated. All right, moving right along. We have Vortex here. I think we have the old content here. I'll skip by that. All right, let's talk about dormant wallets now. We are on the cusp of the dormant wallet deadline, if you will. So I kind of marked it in red here. So tomorrow, end of the day, UTC is the time by which you should have made a claim with your core NFT or Maxim NFT. Otherwise, it will be revoked. That revocation is permanently done after September 30th. So you have until September 30th to essentially appeal. And if you appeal, then your core NFT will be reissued. Otherwise, your core NFT coins, they go into an escrow, a holding area for the Vibe general equity pool, and you can come at any time in the future and activate that. So we are going to keep those coins in escrow, and you can activate it, and your share of the Vibe general equity pool begins at the point you activate it. If you never come, then it will never be activated. So this is I'm speaking to the folks who are not listening here, so it's kind of ironic. They because the people who are here don't have to do anything; they are already active. So yeah, this is very interesting. How do you communicate with people who are not listening or not present, if you will? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go on to Vitru Suite. So I started off by telling you about our Thursday event. It's basically at the same time and same place as this one. We've just made it a regular feature now. I've been doing what I call buying blitzes, etc. And essentially not only using that time to educate creators on long-term investing, but also having some fun. It's really fun. I encourage you, if you haven't attended one of these, to come up next Thursday. It's just a lot of fun with the creators. And what we do is we also try to focus on some of the features, etc., for Vitru Suite at the time. So let's look at what we got cooking here. So yesterday we had around 850 people on the live stream, and my goal is as early as next week to cross the magic 1,000 live stream attendees number. So we've got lots of people excited about this. All right, so what did we announce? We announced some new features in search. In particular, a really cool feature that I love is group by creator. So now when you go to Vitru search, you will see that the artworks are grouped by creator, and they have this cool little fan out animation when you hover over them, and you can go and choose any of them. And when you choose any of them, you're going to go see the artworks for that particular creator. So it's a really nice way to navigate, and you don't have to. You can actually see, okay, I like this particular style of artwork, and just drill into it. So I really love this change. Let's see what else we got. So this is in production at the moment, but I'm going to show you some changes that are not yet in production. So let me talk about those first. So there are two main changes. First of all, we have improved filters, and then we have something called portfolio mode. So let's go to our QA test site. So this is not active. This is not real right now. But I wanted to, let me just refresh and make sure we've got everything going. Yep. So what we've changed here is these filters, or what we might call quick filters here. So you notice there's only 4 here, and in the new version there's going to be 6 of them. But we made clear the intent of these filters. So whether you hide nudity, hide AI, etc., versus just selecting them, and then you can quick select different types of artworks, etc. So that's one feature. And the next feature, which is actually a personal favorite of mine, because I really want to have tools to manage my collection, It's called Portfolio. With Portfolio, you can add any number of wallet addresses, and it will shift from showing you artworks that are overall on the whole blockchain to the artworks that are in that portfolio. Now we are in test here, so I have to go grab a test account from this little hidden store I have here. Let's see if that works. There you go. Yeah, so you can if you notice here, the search scroller, this is test, so don't worry about the content. It's all basically developers just put junk content in there that they need to. But the idea is that every possible tool that you have in search, including creation of stacks, etc., is available to collectors. So you can see your whole collection. You can create videos from it. You can create streams from it. You can create grids from it. You can select a subset of it, etc. And this becomes a really powerful tool for collectors that have, large numbers of artworks. My collection on Ethereum and Tezos is unmanageable. I have over 8,500 artworks there, and I need a tool like this. So I'm very happy to have this on Vitruveo. All right, what is coming up? The next thing that's coming up is what we call a composable UI via URL. So what we are doing, folks, is something really, really cool. What we are doing is we are taking this entire user interface that you're seeing, and we are breaking it up into segments, and each of those segments is controllable via URL. So you can put in here in the URL something like header on or header off, not those exact things, but in concept, you can put filter on, filter off, etc. The goal for it is to make the entire search experience embeddable. So you can take this to any website you want and plug it in there. You can take it to any platform that allows embedding of content using what I call iframes, and you can just put it on there. So now what we are doing is we are enabling the artworks that reside on Vitruveo to be dispersed worldwide onto any website, and it will fit beautifully there onto a website. It will be responsive to the website, and it will just work. We are gonna. I've always talked about standards. So standards are very important for us, and for this particular feature, we are also going to use a standard. It's called OEmbed. You don't know it, but you probably use this standard every time you've embedded a video somewhere. If you happen to use WordPress or something, or embedded a Google map, perhaps in your website, etc. You use this standard called OEmbed, and that's what we're going to be using. So really excited about that. The next thing we're also doing is right now we have 2 stack visualizations. We have a video and we have grid. We're going to add a few more because remember, our goal is to make it where market discoverability of these artworks is made very easy, because we tell the artists, you don't need to do any marketing. Vitruveo does that, but we can't do that if you don't have the tools in place. So first, build the tools, then build the machine. The machine consists of affiliate marketers. We are going to create an army of affiliates, thousands of them, that are going to market this artwork and spread it far and wide. And why are they going to do it? Very simple. They're going to make money. It's all about aligning incentives, and that's what we are focused on doing. So that's coming up. I know a lot of folks really want edit capability in Studio. It is coming. It's going to take a little more work, simply because unlike other blockchains, our content is not all stored on just IPFS. We actually store it on chain, and so we have to modify smart contracts and things like that. But we plan on it, and we are working on it. It will happen soon. So that's it for the core Vitru Suite features. But there's something else that's kind of big that we are working on, and that is rebranding. So you would say that, wow, this is kind of early for a rebranding. The product hasn't even launched fully yet. It's still in beta. But actually, that's the perfect time, because we've been gathering feedback. And one of the feedback is that there are too many components. We've got Studio, Search, Store, Stream, etc. and it's confusing for many creators on where they should be going and what they should be doing. So our focus is to change, with the keyword being simplicity. We want to just focus on simplicity. So what we're going to do now is, over the course of the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a rebranding of Vitru Suite. The name is to be determined. I will announce that when we are ready with it, and that will become the main brand. So just like we have Vortex as our gaming foundation, we're going to have this new name brand as our creator foundation, and Studio, Search, Store, and Stream will become just features that are under the main brand. So you only will refer to one brand, and that's it. That's it for creators. You go to one spot and you can navigate to all these features. You don't have to have a bigger cognitive load. So we are excited about doing that. It is a lot of work, but we are always listening to what people are saying. We're always listening to feedback, and want to make sure that we create something that is marketable. So that marketability is also really important here. We are sort of getting geared up now to start marketing to galleries and other organizations. And it is very important for us that we can have a very crisp go-to-market message and not have confusion about, oh, what is this versus what is this, etc. So it's going to be one essentially brand that speaks to all these audiences, and then all these other things are just going to be mere features on there. So that is coming up also. And let's go next. I'll give you an update on creator level. So as I announced last week, we are working hard using a standards-based approach called verifiable credentials to implement that. And I'm very pleased to report that we have essentially started the architecture part for phase 1. So I talked about how we're going to do 1 and 2, which is the creator profile and the KYC. So that is now, the architecture for that is now in progress. We are working on that. That's the yellow square there. That's what we're working on. Next week, I'll probably have more diagrams to share with you. And it won't take very long to show you more progress on this. In terms of development priorities, one of the things we want to do is build upon the momentum we have right now with the creators by making sure that we are constantly building new features and releasing new features in search, in studio, etc. So for the creator level in particular, what we're going to do is have a dedicated developer work on that in parallel, because it is a complex feature and it is going to take some time to implement, but it is a separate feature. So what we can do is keep going on everything else and not stop while we also build out the creator credentials. So that's kind of our go-to market and development plan on that. And I think that brings us to the end of today's content. The link here is where you can download the slide deck. I did enable it. Thank you, Biz, for reporting that it was broken and it is fixed. Let's go ahead and go into some questions now. So, Mike, let's take this one.
Let's dive into it. Are current Vortex NFT holders still eligible for land claim, or do we need to buy another NFT for that? Yes, if you have Vortex NFTs, you are eligible for the land claim. That was the whole purpose of the initial Vortex purchases. So yes, they will apply to the land claim, and it'll be very clear in the tokenomics where the Vortex NFTs fit in with everything in terms of the rarity and the glyphs and all of that. So we'll have more to come on that. Any update on those minted Vortex that didn't receive Vibe as yet? Details were passed to Discord mods to be added to a list.
Yeah, so we have a short list of those. We have to audit them, and we are auditing them, and we'll get them done as quickly as possible. In terms of timeline, I can tell you that it will not go past this week. So this week is our final. In fact, what we've done is, working with the mods, we've done a complete inventory of all the things that are due. There's little gotchas here or there, things we've missed, things that are owed people, etc. So thank you, Biz, for consolidating and creating that list. I appreciate that very much. And we're going to go through that and just try and fulfill everything that is past due as quickly as possible, because we really don't want anything on our backlog,
Yeah.
and move forward.
Yeah. When KYC, so blocked real artists can come back.
Yeah, so I just announced that the creator level implementation is in progress now. So first two phases are profile and KYC. So as soon as that's in place, there will be KYC.
Perfect. Nick, can artists have options to make an adjustment price on studio to an existing artwork already consigned?
Yeah, so this is in line with also the comment that Tina has made there about edit capabilities, etc. I know, and Pam also pointed out to me that a lot of people want edit capabilities. So I understand that's an important thing. What we'll do is we're already working on it in the sense that we have to essentially isolate which fields are editable and which are not, which are on chain and which are not. And the problem is that a vast majority of our fields are on chain, and so it involves generating new transaction, etc. That's why it's not yet done. But it sounds to me like we need to actually move that higher up in the priority list, and I will do that. We always listen to your feedback and do what you tell us to do. So we are going to move that edit capability up the list. Duly
Very
noted.
good. Okay. Southern Fried, if we wanted to purchase artist work, can we use our Vitru we have claimed from sales, or do we have to swap them for VUSD?
Yeah, you will need to buy VUSD, and you can use your Vitru to buy it. But it is a net zero because you're essentially, well, it depends on the price, I guess, because you always buy VUSD at the prevailing price. But yeah, we make VUSD the standard for all purchase transactions.
Mm-hmm. Will granted VUSD be available to be used once airdropped, or will they be staggered like?
They're all available because we have a cutoff date, so we can't stagger them. They're all immediately available.
Perfect.
So if you're a creator, you should start creating and get on there right now, because there's going to be basically 90 days of VUSD for sales coming up here quickly in 24 hours.
Nick, so artists will receive VUSD or Vitru?
On the back end, it's always Vitru. VUSD is simply a front end coin because we want to make all transactions in US dollars. So we don't want people to have the cognitive load of trying to convert. You know, if you go to Ethereum, etc., like the price changes all the time and you don't know what an artwork is actually worth. So on our platform, we want where the pricing is all in US dollars, and you use your credit card, you use whatever currency you have to buy VUSD, so that it's a 1-for-1 buying the artwork, but then it is instantly in the contract converted to Vitru with the prevailing price, and it is split and paid off to the vault, to the curator, to the platform, which immediately shows up in Vibe, by the way. I don't know. That was one cool thing about yesterday is as I was buying during the art buying blitz, the Vibe number kept going up because of the rev share from it. So yeah, on the back end, Vitru is the utility coin, the native utility coin for Vitruveo. So everything we try and do on the back end is always going to be Vitru.
Yeah. Okay. Dolores asked, does the VUSD for Vortex holders expire like the VUSD replacing collector credits?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought about that. We'll probably make it 1 year or something like that because it is granted. So there is a cutoff built into the contract. So we have to provide some value. I'll probably give it a 1 year value.
Yeah, these are good questions. Rohan, do the artists get a resale cut when we buy Vitru Studio artworks on Neon Circus? They just added this option yesterday.
Yeah, so if I believe one of the cool things I see in the ecosystem is people have found the Vibe contract and see how to flow the revenue in, and developers are voluntarily doing that, which is great. So yeah, any developer who wants to basically benefit the ecosystem and cause rev share to all Vibe holders can take advantage of that and have their funds flow in. I was not aware of that from Neon Circus, but that's great. I will talk to them and thank them for doing that.
Perfect. Says that Mike, elaborate a little on the DEX equity pool, please. Why don't you actually answer that one, Nick? You've got a good point.
I would actually like to defer that to next week because there's multiple components to it, and we talked about taking a step back on the buy piece because we needed to flesh out the details. We haven't done that yet. So the DEX equity pool, what we'll do is we'll commit to on the next download having all the details. So please bear with us one more week on that. We want to make sure that we get it right.
Yeah. Mystique, would it be at all possible to have a 3D animated block or something to go directly to the 3D animated pieces? I think he's talking about the filter.
Yeah, I just showed you the filter here. That is in the new one. That is has an animation filter. So if you choose that, it's going to go directly to all the animated pieces. So yeah.
Very good. Very good. Would be amazing to one day bridge our XTZ works to Vitruveo.
Yeah, so the technology exists thanks to our partners at Via Labs. We can bridge things pretty easily. I'm taking a sort of feather touch approach to that because you can get into some very complicated issues, especially if you don't build it two ways, right? If you make it, building a one-way bridge is easy. Building a two-way bridge is enormously complicated. So that's why I have already in prior downloads showed this vision of transporter. So we would probably do. It might be a good idea actually, now that I think about it, to do Tezos first because that would be a good proving ground for the transporter, and then move on to Ethereum. So yeah, I'll look into that and see how quickly we can get that done. I don't even know if Via Labs supports Tezos right now, because that would be a precondition for us. We can't bridge anything unless we have a partner to do that, because we are not about to invest in building our native bridge ourselves. So let me check into that. I'll get back.
Great question. RS, Nick, can Scope be on multiple languages for all global investors?
The answer is yes to all features, but we always start with MVP, the minimum viable product, and then we layer on features. I actually shared this yesterday. You know what? It might be useful for everyone to see these slides here. Let me just play them real quick. So I played them yesterday to drive home some core messages about Vitruveo that maybe not everyone is aware of. The first one I tried to communicate is Vitruveo is not a marketplace. Then the next one I communicate is Vitruveo is a blockchain, and our mission is sustainable income for all creators. Vitruveo is owned by the community, so we don't have any single investor or anything that owns it. But here's the key slide that I wanted to show you in response. Vitruveo is operated by a very small team. We have 6 full-time, that includes Mike and I, and 6 part-time. So we can only do so many things at once, folks. And it's actually a miracle, as Mike was saying, that we have the productivity and the features every week to show you that we do. The ton of activity that's going. That comes from just people working crazy hours, is how that comes. But yeah, we want to do everything. But you have to look at the life cycle and the maturity of this chain. We are still very early on. We're just about actually, since the chain started, that was in October, right? So that would be what, a little over 10 months. Yeah. So the level of multilingual capabilities, etc., they don't come until year 2, because that's when you start scaling up and you have a global audience, etc. So we will do it, but we just can't do it right now. But continuing with these slides, which I think, again, are useful for the community, our software is in beta. And we are currently for innovative creators who are excited about a new journey for art in Web3. We are not, and I repeat, not for creators who need to sell art for immediate income. So if you need to flip art to pay your rent, Vitruveo is not the place for you right now. Please come back in 3 to 6 months. We will have liquidity and we will be more stable.
Yeah.
All right. And for support, you can visit that there. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to point out that we are a small team and just doing the focusing on the priorities. It's every week, just focus on what is the highest priority things we have, and multilingual content and localization, while important, is actually lower on the list of priorities, because at this point, making sure we have the traction, making sure we have the results in order to have a very successful entree into the sexes is what's paramount right now.
Yeah. Any update on the unstake button for APR stake? So
so it's not going to be a button, but the airdrop stake UI is going to go away. In fact, it should already have gone away, and it's going to reappear in scope as a full-fledged staking and unstaking application. You're going to see a table of all your stakes, and you can go to any one of them and hit unstake. The button will light up for each one whenever the stake period is done. That's going to show up in scope. My ETA for that is, I'm going to say, probably by next download, you should be able to see that.
Okay. OpenSea was recently hit with a Wells notice from the US SEC for selling unlicensed securities in the form of NFTs. Do you have any concern that Vitruveo could have the same thing happen?
Possibly, but I feel like these are things that are not ideal for commenting on public in public yet, because it's very early on. So I would prefer to withhold my comments on that at this time.
Yeah. Can you share with creators where they see the current price of Vitru?
Yeah, that's one thing that people have wanted to. The easiest place is well, there are multiple places. You can go to wrap.vitruveo.xyz, and you can see the price rounded to 10 cents. But if you go to Neon Circus, I believe they have the live price. Yep, right there. Neon Circus, they have the price right up there. And we'll add it to Scope also, right on the homepage of Scope. So there'll be multiple ways you can see it.
If we have multiple boosters and multiple Vortex NFTs in the same wallet, are we still restricted to 1,000 VUSD for that wallet?
There are 743 wallets. Each of those has a count associated with it. They're going to be airdrop VUSD. That's about all I know. I don't know about boosters or Vortex. All of those are frankly irrelevant. Right now, all that the airdrop code is doing is it's going and checking and seeing if you have a collector credit in the wallet, or the number of collector credits you have in the wallet, and it's going to basically burn those and airdrop the USD of the equivalent amount into that wallet. So your boosters, etc., are irrelevant at this point, because the snapshot's already been taken.
Yeah. I have collector credits in a few wallets. Can those be consolidated into one wallet to purchase higher priced art?
At this point, no. In fact, that could have been done previously, but you could have consolidated your collector credits, but now it's frozen because we are doing the airdrop. So, and the VUSD that's granted are not transferable. So unfortunately, unable to do that.
Okay. Vitruveo will need to be on a SEX by November, December, so that we ride the bull run. Yeah, Casey, what you can do is if you go to Discord and you go into the Genesis OG channel, if you look at the pin message, if you scroll down a little bit, there's kind of an outline of what has to be done before the SEX listing. And we've actually made a lot of progress since that pin was updated. But the bottom line is that we're just as eager as everyone else to get on a SEX. But I mean, there's so much that we have to do leading up to SEX listing. It's kind of like trying to open up a business when you have very little product on the shelf, or there's construction or scaffolding outside the business. There's a few things that have to be done prior to that, both at a protocol level and as well as a product level. the bottom line is we're super eager to get there just as much as everybody else, but we're not a token, so it's not as quick as just listing on Dex tools and going live. With a tier 1 blockchain, there's just so much more things that have to get done, and we're very eager. So that's what we'll say to that. And I mean, it's been so hard, guys, just to get on Dex tools. It's the waiting list is just insane. But we have a really good roadmap that we've listed out. We had a core team lead meeting yesterday with Age, and it's awesome. There's some really, really, really cool things coming up that we're really excited to share with you guys. Nick, can you add the Vitru price on the studio and link connect directly to Scope so artists know where to find their digital assets?
Good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Aris always has great ideas. Some of us are having an issue if we send our artworks to another wallet and they only show up in Scope when connected to the original wallet and not in the wallet that they're actually in. Are you aware of this?
No, I'm aware now. We'll get it fixed.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. What about a pull-down menu from the existing collections from creator while consigning to can choose the right one?
We made collections irrelevant, more or less. You can have your artwork in as many collections as you want, and you can have as many collections as you want. So I think this would be a feature that might not be used too much because in most other marketplaces, you start with defining a collection and then adding your artworks to it. We made it arbitrary. You can add artworks to any collection you want, etc. And once we have the edit capability, you can modify it also. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe there's a use case for it that I'm not aware of, but for right now, that's probably not a feature we can implement.
Okay. Dolores, a lot of listings on Tezos are editions and would need elastic editions in Vitruveo in order to be active if listings from Object, for example, are bridged over. Is there a timeline for elastic editions?
Yeah, it's in the pipeline. Actually, I'm just looking at my list here, and enabling the elastic edition and enabling print license are what's in the pipeline next. So what we want to look, one of the most important things that we're trying to do here is we're trying to demonstrate our full model. We have only implemented 20% of our model right now. We've not implemented what I talk about constantly, which is NFTs are not the way to sustainable income. So our thesis is that NFTs represent maybe 20 to 25% of an artist's income, but having this compound interest of your artwork where all your life's work is constantly making you money, that's what we have to demonstrate to you. And we can't demonstrate that until we enable different licenses. So what we have the one-of-one right now for NFTs. The next one we want to enable is print, and the next one we want to enable is stream. We actually swapped the order of that because we found that more people would be ready for print right away. They don't have to wait to buy a display, right? So we swapped the order of that. So this is why things like elastic edition, etc., are not like at the way top, because we are not keen on just reproducing what's there on other marketplaces. We are keen on building out our business model for how you can make money, and getting artworks from other platforms, etc., are not ways in which we can demonstrate our model. So our focus is always going to be, what can we do to prove out our business model? And this is why it might seem to you like things like the marketing visualizations, etc. Why are you doing that when we want editing, etc.? Well, the reason is that we are trying to prove out a model. If we don't have those marketing visualizations, we can't get affiliates and we can't get people to do marketing for you. So there's a strategy at play here. And the anytime we add a feature, You have to believe and you have to know that we are doing it because we are getting closer and closer to the goal of proving out our business model. That's what we are trying to do. So anything else that is just a like me too feature, from the marketplace, uh, we are probably going to deprioritize that. So I love elastic additions. I came up with that idea. I want it, but I also know that it's not critical to our success. So I'll probably put it a little lower.
Yeah, I really like this idea. I know you can curate a stack, but if you consider it a like art button so that you can click on the art while you continue browsing, and then you can go back to your liked artwork.
Yeah, so we're going to have all those features that you expect from any site that has a collection. So if you think about the thousands of sites out there, all of them that have boxes of some kind, and below the box you have the standard, the like, the comment, the forward, etc. We're going to do all of those things. But again, those don't help prove out our business model. Those are basically what might be considered table stakes, even for tiled websites, etc. But we look at it different. We look at what is going to be important for us to prove out a business model. If you think about that feature, a simple like button, you're like, why don't you just add that? It's a little icon, right? But no, it's not, because immediately then we have to deal with authentication. So you have to be logged in. Right now, search is open. You don't have to be logged in. You don't have to do anything. But there's these complexities, these layered complexities that come into play with very simple things. And so we are going to be very, very focused and say, okay, if it's not helping prove our business model, we're going to add it, but it's going to be lower in the priority list.
Yeah, there's really a balancing act that goes into what the team does, because a lot of our activities are there are activities that we do in order to take care of the holders. Then there's activities that we're actually creating to make the blockchain better, or the protocol better, or our products and offerings and the different verticals. And then there's activities in terms of marketing and all of those things. And the problem is that the more we focus on other things, we're not going to get to sex, because we're constantly in I forget the term you used, Nick. It was a really good term. It's where you're trying to make it perfect before you go to sex.
Yeah.
But where we really just need to come up with a great product, something that does have a built-in flywheel effect, so that creators and art buyers are able to sustain our growth. We get the volume up, we get the list going, and then we can go in, once we have liquidity, build out more developers, and then that way make all these incredible enhancements that I think we all want to make. But yeah, it's frustrating. I just wish we had $1 billion and 200 devs. We could get so much done.
Yeah, but you know what? That too has a point of diminishing returns. If you look at successful software, most software that's very successful has some basic features, and it has other features, etc., but people don't use them. Like, you look at your word processor, even like whether it's Google Docs or Microsoft Word or whatever, you don't use like 90% of the stuff that's there. You use like 3 or 4 features like all the time, but that feature was added because someone said, oh, this is a good feature to add. But we should also look at how much it will be used, right? Because for everything that is a suggestion, everything that's an idea here, it immediately in my mind translates into, okay, what is the time? What is the cost of it? And what will I not be able to do because I added this? So how much further does it move the goalpost because I add this feature now? That's kind of how I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Casey, brings up a point that we're always struggling with is when is too much, and what are the minimum requirements in order for us to have a really compelling product and go to market with that product. And we agree with you. We constantly have to kind of scale back a little bit and say, okay, is this an absolute necessity? Do we absolutely need this? A lot of our work over the past 2 months was really focused on circulating supply, which really has nothing to do with our product offerings.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I mean, But it's super important because we want the blockchain to be successful, and the circulating supply affects liquidity, it affects sell pressure, it affects a lot of different things. We've dealt with that really, really well, and this proof of life campaign is going to be the last step to that. Once we get that behind us, we can then kind of tie the knots on all the vibe and all of those promotional things that are still outstanding. And then we can refine search, refine the branding, and really focus on getting to sex listing, which is really kind of what we're all looking forward to. And audit. Obviously, we're in talks with getting audited, so we have all the information on that.
Yeah, I want to address this point also. It wasn't very long ago. Most people might not remember, but I remember very distinctly because I was at the receiving end of comments like, basically, you're full of shit. This is never going to work. No artist is going to come here. But look, gradually adding these features, etc., and with this plan, we are now on the cusp of 10,000 artworks being consigned. 10,000. That is not a trivial number, So we have to do the things we have to do to prove out our business model. And I'll just keep pointing back to that. It's not about just activity for the sake of activity. If there's none of that, it's really every step of the way we are trying to prove out our business model, get to revenue, etc. And in fact, one of the things that I really got a lot of negative feedback about is, why don't you do more on scope? Why don't you, add a lot of calculators, etc. I'm like, yes, we can do that, but we have to strike a balance. We are maintaining our community and giving them the tools, etc., is not growing the business. So we need to grow the business and we need to focus on that. So it's always going to be like a partition, like some portion of our time, whether it's 10, 20, 30% of our time, focused on tools and, like scope, etc., and adding to those. And then the rest of it has to be about proving out the business model and growing the business. Because at the end of the day, what use is scope if we don't have a business where you can see the results, see the profits, etc. So
yeah. We'll go one more question. Nick, when can we see what everyone's staked amount locked and unlocked on scope to see what the balance investor owns for 5, 3, 2, or 1 years? So
repeat question. I already committed to getting that next week. So
next week, that's going to be the goal.
Yep.
Okay, I think that that does it for now. If you guys have more questions, definitely join us on Discord. We have an amazing community. Come on in, and we also have a creator channel as well on Discord. Reach out to Pam both if you guys have any additional questions on that. And Nick, do you have any closing comments?
Nothing, just a sip of chai, and see you all next week.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Bye-bye.